Part 56. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 575. Xiao Pangzi turned his grief and anger into appetite and put a few more pieces of meat into his bowl. He wanted to watch closely to see how brother Xiao Ting beat the guests on the elf battleground. During the summer vacation, Xiao Pangzi saw many customers being defeated by the big brothers and sisters in the store. If the customers won, they would definitely lose in the end, because Xiao Pangzi's father hadn't come on stage yet. Big Zuzu, brother Xiao Ting will definitely win, right? Little Fatty's mouth was full of red oil, and he asked while eating from a bowl. This time, King Yanwu's expression was a little different from before. Although little Fatty loves to eat meat, he still knows that brain is a good thing, so he doesn't throw it away stupidly. Big Piggy, brother Xiao Ting can't beat him, is that guy better than brother Xiao Ting? King Yanwu nodded slightly. When they fight, their moves must be very cool and powerful, right? King Yanwu continued to nod. Our flame attic will definitely be lit by then, right? At the end of the sentence, the little fat boy's eyes were wide open. King Yanwu blinked. The little master was right. That's great, I finally have a reason to burn my homework. Seeing Xiao Pangzi suddenly put down the bowl and run somewhere crazily, King Yanwu couldn't turn his mind around for a while. Etc. Is there something not quite right? Yang Yu looked at the resident trainer in front of him wearing the uniform of a hot pot restaurant employee, and kept feeling in his heart that there are indeed many wonders in this world. If it weren't for such a rule, Yang Yu and Yang Xiao must have thought that this was just an ordinary hot pot restaurant. Even if it was opened by a fire-type gym, it would be just an ordinary hot pot restaurant. Now, it's a bit visceral. Pull out a waiter at random, whether it is a little brother or a little sister, they are at least senior trainers. Yang Yu suspected that the guys greeting customers at the door were a bit like the intern trainers in the gym, except that the internship first started by recruiting customers at the gate. The owner of the fire gym has great business acumen. Psi is a Psi. The battle still has to be fought. After all, this is about eating on the attic floor of a hot pot restaurant. Now that you are here, why not take a look at the top floor? Xiao Ting. Yang Yu. It seems that Xiao Ting doesn't know much about Yang Yu's name. Of course, Yang Yu will not narcissistically think that he should know himself as a person, but after this elf battle, your opponent will know him. Yang Yu had already held Xiao Baobao's elf ball in his hand, but when he was about to throw it out, a blue-purple and milky white figure suddenly jumped onto the elf battlefield. Yang Yu. Mum. The mini-dragon instantly stood in front of Yang Yu, and was even ready for an elf battle. This process is very familiar to mini-dragon when he was in Super Gym and Ghost Gym. Just do it and that's it. This mini-dragon doesn't have the strength of a high-level elf, right? It's like this. Xiao Ting's elves are at least elite level. Isn't this, for free? A bit arbitrary. Xiao Ting is not the intern trainer of the gym, and Yang Yu cannot let the mini-dragon come on casually like Chen Jingguan, the intern trainer of the Super Gym. It's just that the mini-dragon came on the field on his own and couldn't be stopped. The little dream monster and Tijipai, who were resting with Larulas at Yang Xiao's place, woke up in a daze and saw that the mini-dragon was already on the elf battlefield. The two little things smashed their mouths, and they could eat after they were beaten. Delicious. This is how it is in the Super Gym, I'm even a little used to it. Go, Demon Fire Red Fox. Xiao Ting's tone remained calm. The moment he opened the high-level ball in his hand, a wisp of flames flashed across his eyes and suddenly fell on the edge of the battlefield. Boom. The entire area around the elf battle arena was lit up one by one like beacons. The entire battle arena seemed to be immersed in the flames, and the scorching atmosphere exploded instantly. Wow! That's so cool. If it hadn't been for the summer vacation, Yang Xiao would have thought that the Chinese New Year was approaching. The surrounding venue was lit up like fireworks, and he was immersed in the scene, with the dancing firelight appearing in his eyes. The demon fire red fox in front of Xiao Ting held a wooden staff in his hand. Like a fire mage, there was a burning flame on the tip of the staff. The demon fire red fox narrowed his eyes, belonging to the fox's keen awareness. Clearly feel. This mini dragon seems to be a la carte. Mum. The mini dragon's eyes fell on the demon fire red fox. The side of my head seemed to be shaking and sweating nervously. The next second, the mini dragon decided to turn around. Sorry to bother you. Slipping away, slipping away. Epsilon epsilon epsilon, hashtag #U003E /U003C. Xiaoting and Yehuo Red Fox raised their eyes at the same time. They hadn't seen such a scene for an unknown amount of time. Was it a Kodak that escaped last time? Ha 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 ha. The little fat paper on the attic could hardly hold the bowl, and he was laughing so hard that he almost shed tears. But as I smiled and looked at the blank homework I was holding in my other hand, I couldn't help but smile. If the flame in the attic couldn't be lit, how could he let his homework be accidentally burned? During the winter vacation, Dazyazu would help him destroy his winter vacation homework books. After being scolded by his father last time, Dazyazu stopped burning homework for him. Why? Being the leader of a fire gym is so difficult. Yang Yu looked at the mini dragon hiding behind him and rubbed the corners of his eyes helplessly. In this elf battle, Yang Yu was not prepared to let the mini dragon get into it, so he could just stay aside with peace of mind. Who would have thought that mini dragon was so addicted to playing elf battle that he would take the initiative to play? But it doesn't matter. Feed it more delicious food when the time comes, and the mini dragon will grow up quickly, and its strength will naturally increase. Just watch the elf battle first and learn from the sidelines. Yang Yu knelt down and gently patted the poor little thing's big white nose. The way the mini dragon hid behind his thigh was a bit like a little girl who saw a scared animal hiding behind her parents. Although she didn't dare to look at it, but I still have to watch secretly. It's heartbreaking and funny at the same time. Yang Yu raised his eyes slightly, and he felt a little embarrassed when he heard the little chubby boy laughing loudly. He initially planned to let Xiao Baobao go. Now, he changed his mind. No reason, because the intimidation field of Xiao Baobao was not enough to make the demon fire red fox feel the trembling fear all over. Salted Fish King can do it. Mini dragon, I really hope you grow up slowly. Yang Yu felt that his sigh was a bit contrary to his will, but who is not a combination of contradictions? Come out, Salted Fish King. Roar. Continue later. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 576. Hey, I'm so excited. Yang Yu only saw something flying out from the floor of the little fat paper. It was white and seemed to have patterns on it, a bit like a test paper. It was floating in the wind when the Salted Fish King appeared on the field. Cough 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 cough. Whoa cough cough cough. It's spicy, it's choking, it makes me cough, cough, cough. Even if there were enough demonic fire red foxes around the battlefield to use their superpowers to protect the hot pot restaurant, the earth-shattering roar and the terrifying physique of the Salted Fish King could never be isolated. Sometimes, in order to improve the visibility of the battle, the gym will use superpowers to add some visual rendering, such as delayed special effects. After the Salted Fish King appears from the pokeball, it climbs up, as if it emerged from the ground in an instant. The terrifying giant beast made the demon fire red fox on the battlefield, its legs and feet began to tremble. The guests who were about to watch the show in the hot pot restaurant were all dumbfounded. Some of them were still eating freshly cooked food in their mouths. The spicy food directly hit their throats and noses. It was like mastering the jet flame instantly, but it still misfired. Gyarados. Even though Xiaoting had experienced many battles with elves in the fire gym, the sudden appearance of the giant Gyarados in front of him still gave him a huge amount of pressure when facing the gym leader. Gym level. This time, the feeling of fear that the mini-dragon felt from the demon fire Red Fox was doubled from the salted fish king, oh no, super doubled and returned to the opponent. Intimidating aura, so terrifying. As described before, the mini-dragon is actually a small elf, Little Bao Bao is a big one, and the salted fish king is even bigger. From a mini-dragon to a salted fish king, Xiaoting suddenly had to look down at it at first, but now, he suddenly had to look up, and even had to raise his head high to see the salted fish king's face clearly. Ferocious fangs and steady eyes. The flames ignited around the battlefield seemed to be intimidated by the salted fish king, and they even shrunk a little. The resulting scene was that the surrounding environment instantly darkened, and such a darkening did not prove the Demon King's arrival. Even the flames will tremble. Salty Fish King's eyelids moved slightly, as if a piece of flying paper was coming towards him. He carefully turned his head and found that not far away, almost parallel to his line of sight, there was a little fat paper staring at him. Even. There seems to be some expectation in your eyes? Do you expect the Salted Fish King to destroy this piece of paper? The Salted Fish King grinned and opened his huge mouth, as if he was about to launch a big move, and he was calmly accumulating strength, and the little fat paper was looking forward to it more and more, looking forward more and more to the joy of destroying all traces of his own test paper. Far greater than the fear of the Salted Fish King. Burn that test paper quickly. The fists that little fatty clenched excitedly started to tremble. The Salted Fish King moved his nose. The strong smell of fire in the hot pot restaurant made him sneeze. Ouch! All I saw was the flying, lonely test paper. Under the strong wind, it flew quickly in the direction of the chubby paper. With a pop, it just happened to be pressed against the chubby red cheek. The best way to defeat fear is to face it. Xiao Pangzi was filled with tears at this time. Why is this still happening? Can't you just be a good, friendly elf and do your best to click his test paper? King Yanwu next to Xiao Pangzi saw that the paper that flew back was Xiao Pangzi's summer homework, and he felt a little relieved. This was thanks to the giant Gyarados in the venue at this time. Otherwise, it would be over again when the owner came. I want to ask if the test paper was burned by him, King Yanwu. However, things come down to the same code. At this time, the battlefield requires me, the old pig, to take action. Whoa! Whoa! On the 5th floor of the hot pot restaurant, a figure of black and red intertwined, like a fireball ignited by the black flames, jumped up from the sky, and fell quickly. When the figure burning with fighting spirit slowly raised its head from the field and stood up straight, the weak flames around the entire field exploded again in an instant, and the entire battlefield ushered in a feast of fire. It's the boss's King Yanwu. The Hall Master's King Yanwu. Dad, what kind of elf is this? It's chubby, like a pig. He has his own name. When he was young, he was Nuan Nuan Pig. After Nuan Nuan Pig evolved, he became Chow Chow Pig. After Chow Chow Pig, his name is now King Yanwu. Yan, Wu, Wang. What a powerful name. At this moment, Xiaoting bowed respectfully in the direction of King Yanwu and looked towards Yang Yu. At this moment, his heart was full of horror. He is Yang Yu. Regarding Yang Yu, Xiaoting only knew that he was the champion of the individual competition of the National College Elite Trainer competition. He only knew his name but did not know what he looked like. However, Yang Yu has a terrifying elf that marks his identity, the giant Gyarados, the Salted Fish King. The moment that roar appeared that dimmed the flames set off by the battlefield in the entire fire gym, and then looked at the huge figure shining with azure light under the firelight, Xiaoting recognized Yang Royal. Only Yang Yu, only him. A giant Gyarados that explodes with an intimidating aura. You are really, a trainer who will retaliate against you. Xiaoting looked at the trembling demon fire-red fox next to him and couldn't help but twitch the corner of his mouth. I won't even let the little fat guy go. However, I have never met but I care about Xiao Pengji's summer homework. Even the terrifying Gyarados knows the importance of the test paper. Instead of destroying it in anger, he uses the wind to blow it back to Xiao Pengji. Knowledge is power. When Xiaoting left the battlefield, he was still struggling with his thoughts. Thinking of the scene just now, he thought about himself again, whether he usually took care of the little fat paper tube a little too loosely. After all, the gym leader was responsible for tutoring the little fat paper tube. The task of doing homework is left to him. Even Gyarados, who is known for being violent and brainless, knows the importance of studying. He respects a test paper so much. It seems that Yang Yu is also a top student in the Elf University. In the impression of most trainers, Gyarados is a symbol of tyranny and brainlessness, and Xiaoting is no exception, especially the Gyarados in the sea, whose thinking is similar to that of Urha. They often do big things, and demolishing houses in coastal cities is commonplace. It's just that the Salted Fish King was raised by Yang Yu, and he was accompanied by Datu when he was growing up. How could he be cruel and brainless? Kaka. King Yanwu's thick arms seemed to be wearing black flame gloves, making a crackling sound. Roar. The Salted Fish King slowly lowered his head, and his deep voice contained an extremely excited fighting spirit. The battle is about to begin. Continue to ask for votes. I am too busy during the Chinese New Year. Please make sure to update first, and then start it after the New Year. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiao. Chapter 577. King Yanwu's thick fists ignited full of flames, and exploded around his neck to form a halo of fire. In Yang Yu's eyes, it looked a bit like the Buddha's light in Journey to the West, but there was a deep darkness in the firelight. Hu-ho! Yanwu Dynasty patted his arched belly vigorously, and the fighting-shaped patterns on his body seemed to be rendered with a layer of golden light by flames. Roar! Yang Yu reached out and grabbed the mini-dragon and retreated to the back of the battle stage. With a strong fighting spirit, even the breath of the air seemed to be burning with flames. The Salted Fish King surged all over his body, and all the scales on his body seemed to have awakened from dormancy, sparkling under the firelight around the venue. At this moment, fight with all your strength. The Fire Element Gymnasium advocated that Ji Lai was not in the gymnasium. Before leaving the gymnasium, he specifically warned King Yanwu, who stayed at the gymnasium. If there is an opponent that the resident trainer cannot handle, just take action. Accumulating energy, fire attack. When King Yanwu saw the Salted Fish King charging in front of him, his whole body exploded with charged flames. The accumulated flame power swayed at this moment, creating a powerful wind-like aura, which matched the intimidating field of the Salted Fish King. Impacting together, the surface of the battlefield has a faint tendency to burn. Field of Fire. This is a confrontation between gym-level elves, transforming the venue into the field they are best at. This is the home ground of the Fire Gym. The fire energy in the air is far beyond the ordinary battle environment. King Yanwu's fire control ability can turn the entire venue into a real sea of fire with just a simple charge. This is home of the flames. Roar. When a huge wall of flame instantly rose from the surface of the battlefield, the Salted Fish King broke through the resisting wall of fire without any expression. The temperature of the flames at that moment did not pose any threat, but the Salted Fish King did not feel any sense of relief, even becoming more and more solemn. Hoo! Boom boom boom. The moment the Salted Fish King broke through the wall of fire and attacked King Yanwu's body, a black and red figure burning with blazing flames jumped into the air nimbly. In the flame environment, from the mouth with bright fangs, a thick pillar of flame bombarded down the body of the salted fish king. The jet flames intertwined with black and red are like the raging flames brought out from hell. The red bursts and the black is deep. Two flames with different breaths are intertwined. Not only does the fire energy have the huge destructive power, there is also an erosion force that is difficult to resolve. The black flame, perhaps, should be called Will-o'-the-Wisp. The strange flames from the dark prison. Sizzle. Zhyla. When the strangely exploding flame beam was about to hit the salty fish king's head, it hit the ground with its thick tail, making a trembling sound like the ground was cracking. At the same time, the open ferocious giant of the salty fish king in the mouth, a ball of dark yellow light burst out, piercing the bright beam of electric energy. Boom. In mid-air on the battlefield, energy poured out in all directions like an explosion. Yahoo! Hoo-ho-ho! The demon fire red foxes who had condensed the super enchantment felt an extremely terrifying energy fluctuation, as if they were about to tear apart the super protective layer. Fortunately, the defensive fire that was instantly lit in the gym weakened them a lot, bursting energy. Boom! Damn it, Daddy's gym has exploded. The little fat man on the 5th floor of the attic slowly took off the paper stuck to his face and looked at the top of the battlefield. It is also one of the most distinctive designs of the fire gym. The entire exterior looks like a hot pot. The fire element gymnasium, at this moment, under the impact of this wave of explosive energy, opened. What's on? Of course, the gas valve of the hot pot gym is open. It was at this moment that the entire fire gymnasium was instantly lit up. The more intense the battle, the brighter the lighting effect of the fire gymnasium in the entire Shuangqing city at night. Hurry up! It's a gym-level elf battle. Go to the fire gym to fight. Don't stop me, I'm going to watch this elf fight against Xie. As soon as the gas valve of the fire-type gym hot pot building is opened, in the entire urban area of Shuangqing City, whether people are cooking dinner at home or rushing on the road, they can see the buzzing rolling up and down while also popping up. Flaming gas valve. This scene is very rare. Lao Zhang, your house is on fire. In an old alley, 4 men wearing flip-flops, holding cigarettes in their hands, and fanning themselves with round fans from time to time, kept playing mahjong. Fart. Your house is on fire. What a mess. Zhang Jielie took a sip of tea, patted the table and laughed heartily. Come on, give me cigarettes. Old Zhang, it seems your house is really on fire. If you don't go, it might really burn to ashes. Zhang Jielie frowned at this moment, looked back at the direction of the gym, and his eyes suddenly stared. Damn. Why did you find a trainer with a gym-level elf at your door now? My old pig should be able to do it, right? It's better to go back and take a look. It's all like this. People in the entire Shuangqing city can see that you have a fierce battle between elves. It's okay if you're not around then, old man Qin urged. It just so happens that my legs are a little numb after playing mahjong. I stopped by your house to see if I can have a meal. Hee hee, the people who come to your fire gym to challenge on this hot day are also fire. Are you an expert in the department? It's the right time and the right place. If your old pig fights like this, then your opponent deserves to be received by you, the gym leader, in person. Okay, Lao Qin, you sit down with me, Lao Bai, Lao Chen, I'll let you take the lead. Zhang Jielie wiped the sweat from his forehead, the light summoning the elves on his fingertips flickered, and an elf appeared in the sky. A fire-breathing dragon flapping its wings. No problem. Fierce arrow sparrow, Lao Chen, let's go. Go to the old Zhang family gym to have a look. Although King Yanwu's body is huge, the speed he can accumulate under the attack of charged flames, coupled with the unique body coordination ability of the fighting system, makes him a flexible big fat paper on the battlefield. The energy blast did not cause substantial damage to King Yanwu. He used his flexible and fast pig rush movement technique and coordination to remove almost all the power of the energy blast. This is a giant Gyarados with the power of 100,000 volts. King Yanwu's eyes are like a knife, and Gyarados, who is famous for his physical attack ability, uses the terrifying 100,000 volts to fight him evenly with the double attack type. His move sprays flames, which is not very good for ordinary gym level elves. He resisted, but was completely resisted by a Gyarados using special attack moves. Boom! King Yanwu's body once again erupted with more powerful flame light than before, just like being possessed by a flame demon, activating the unparalleled effect. The entire venue quickly burst into flames. The Salted Fish King was hovering in the air at the moment, surrounded by fire energy, which made the instinctive water power in his body feel very uncomfortable. Displeasure means rising anger. In this kind of away match, the entire venue seemed to have become King Yanwu's world of flames, which made King Xianyu feel even more unhappy. This unhappy world of flames should be completely purified with anger. Let the flame purify everything. King Xianyu took a deep breath, gathered the rage in his body that was as turbulent as the waves, and charged towards King Yanwu. The secret of fire. The secret of fighting. Flame, Chi Fist. King Yanwu raised his fist that was ignited by the Black Prison, and struck hard at the dragon's wrath that shone like a holy pillar. Boom! Work hard to write about the battle. O Pokemon's character master. Author, AI Ren Huo Shao. Chapter 578. Turtle. The little fat paper hugged the pillar of the attic, feeling the oncoming air waves. With his O-shaped mouth, he even forgot to eat the meat, leaving only bursts of exclamations. The wave of air just now blew away his test paper, flying towards the sky outside the fire gym building. This time, I finally have one less test paper to write. This big blue dragon is so powerful, it can do more than Daddy's pig. This is the most fierce elf that Yangyu and King Xianyu have ever encountered on the elf battlefield. King Yanwu's fast flaming fist also unleashes waves of true energy. This true energy is inextricably linked to the Black Prison. The rolling energy of the flames even blocked all the wrathful beams of Dragon's Wrath. This is like the effect of Takashi and Kyo Kusanagi in the arcade King of Fighters, Aduohi and Fire Fist. At this moment, the Salted Fish King and Inwu King once again had a draw. The gym leader's elf, this is just one of them, but King Yanwu has the home advantage of the Fire Gym's flame field. If he wants to challenge the 6 fire elves of the Fire Gym leader in the future, he will have to send to Japai. Yangyu's heart moved. When fighting in such a field, even water elves have to weigh the weakening effect of this ground on water-type moves. So the most essential reason. Not enough water. Yangyu's idea was of course just a thought. In an elf battle of this level, he would certainly not let Tajapai play. Are we going to demolish the gym? In the current situation, it is really a good idea to let the Salted Fish King take the initiative, smash the ceiling of the gym, and let the falling gravel fatally interfere with the flames of the entire venue. Yangyu thought about it carefully. Impulse is the devil. At least in the past 10 years, there has been no news of trainers challenging the demolition of the gym. In addition to the super protection of the super elves, there is also a more reliable last line of defense in the gym, just like the car's airbags will not appear unless there is an extreme crisis. What's more, Yangyu and Yang Xiao just want to have a meal now, and the fight between Salted Fish King and Yanwu King has exceeded some expectations. Hoo-hoo. As the night gradually dimmed, the ceiling of the gym slowly opened, and a flying orange fire-breathing dragon appeared. Behind the slightly leaning body, 2 middle-aged men wearing short sleeves sat, looking at the fire-breathing dragon. When it landed on the Salted Fish King, the flames at its tail instantly ignited with even more blazing light. Daddy! The little fat paper on the attic had runny noses and tears. Although the impact of the wave of energy just now had no effect, the oncoming wind still made the little fat paper's eyes feel sore. Smash, look what I picked up for you on the way. Hey, a test paper. Like a martial artist on the stage, Zhang Jielie easily jumped from the body of a fire-breathing dragon to the 5th floor of the attic. He was holding a test paper that he just picked up on the way, as if asking for credit, in front of his own little fat paper. Displayed. Sigma. Little Fatty's face looked as if he had encountered something extremely desperate, as if he was constipated. Isn't he already? Did he let the wind take away his test papers? Why would they return to his father's hands? The little fat paper is too difficult. Smash, go back and do your best. I'll go meet the challenger for a while first. Zhang Jielie stepped on his flip-flops and jumped on the back of the fire-breathing dragon again. At the same time, he came to the edge of the battlefield and came to Yang Yu. A series of smooth movements, flowing smoothly, aroused bursts of cheers from the guests of the hot pot restaurant. Brother Yang Yu, why don't you come to the top of the attic to get together? It's Yang Yu, haha. Lao Zhangtu certainly didn't expect that the person who fought against his Yanwu king was actually Yang Yu. Awesome. When I was this age, I was just an ordinary high-level trainer, but today's young people are really amazing. They even come up to the gym leader's elf door. Zhang Jielie's poker friends are naturally not ordinary people. They all have a certain status in the Shuangqing City Elf Alliance. When they see that the challenger is such a young trainer, they feel happy. Sometimes, they even a little bit of loss. The younger generation of trainers has begun to create their own future. Why not? Yang Yu was taken aback for a moment, and quickly answered with great enthusiasm. The winner between King Xianyu and King Yanwu was hard to tell at this moment. Yang Yu still felt a little pity in his heart, but he knew clearly in his heart that King Xianyu had not yet been forced into Honglian's rage. Facing King Yanwu attack with ease. This is already an extremely huge improvement. When Yang Yu gradually improves the strength of the mini-dragon, and at the same time makes the little dream demon's ghost-type moves even more bizarre, then it will be the beginning of the official challenge to the gym leader. Now. It's important to eat, it's important to eat. Good boy, if you have courage, come with me. Hoo-hoo. Charizard turned its wings sideways to allow Zhang Jielie to get on its back better, and at the same time, it flapped its wings into the air and took off. Xiao Yu, come on, let's go upstairs. Yang Yu waved in the direction of Yang Xiao. Yang Xiao hugged Larula's little dream demon Antijopai, like a very rich Lolita, happily ran over. Mum. Seeing that he was about to eat, the mini-dragon hiding behind Yang Yu became bold in an instant. He even circled around Yang Yu's legs very excitedly, and sometimes even ran to the root drawn between his feet. LaRue. Poppy. Salted Fish King, let's go. Roar. The roar of the Salted Fish King was faintly competing with the fire-breathing dragon of the fire gym leader. There seemed to be an invisible lightning between the two, sizzling in the hot and painful air. The fierce arrow bird, which had been staying in the air, carried two people and followed the fire-breathing dragon. Old Zhang, we won't disturb you anymore. Seeing the appearance of this giant Gyarados, haha, this life is worth it. Gyarados, is so awesome. Okay, Lao Bai, we'll make an appointment then. Old Zhang, I'm going to leave first. When this young man Yang Yu comes to have a formal gym battle with you, I will definitely come. Yang Yu saw a flash of purple light behind the fire-breathing dragon, and the only two people left were the fire-type gym leader, Zhang Jielie. Ha ha ha, welcome to the 7th floor of our hot pot restaurant, little friend Yang Yu, and this one. Zhang Jielie's eyes fell on Yang Xiao. My sister, Yang Xiao, Yang Yu said with a smile. Welcome Yang Yu and Yang Xiao, I'll treat you to this hot pot meal. Yang Yu, you are amazing. Outside the attic, Charizard and Salted Fish King looked at each other from afar. Hoo hoo. King Yanwu quickly set up a barbecue stall at the battlefield. Local materials were used, and at the same time, a place was opened for the Salted Fish King to extinguish the flames. As the saying goes, there is no acquaintance without fighting. King Yanwu likes this kind of head-on elf battle. The master is already having a meal in the attic. As an excellent elf, he should fully implement the master's principle of having a meal. Just eat well. Only when you are full can you have the strength to fight well. After you have eaten just enough, you cannot exercise strenuously. It's best to let the old pig sleep for a while. Watching King Yanwu start the barbecue, and then looking at the hosts preparing to have a meal on the attic, Salted Fish King and Charizard nodded silently from afar. Let's talk about the fight later. Let's eat first. Epsilon equals. Dot. Returning to the countryside to celebrate the new year, it's snowing. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 579. On the round table, the tableware is very neat. In addition to the dinner plates for Yang Yu, Yang Xiao, and Zhang Jilier also asked the gym attendant to send some more exquisite dining tableware. It was obvious that he was fully prepared to serve the elves of all sizes. Tijipai has a small bib hanging on his body to prevent Tijipai from accidentally splashing the hot pot soup on the eggshells. At the same time, there is a baby chair on the table that is particularly suitable for him to sit on. Put it down and you can pat the small dining table in front of the small chair. Begging for food. The little dream monster also has a bib on its neck. If you put a child's pacifier in its mouth due to its size, it would be like a newborn baby, and it would still beep. Larula sat next to the little dream demon, who was much quieter than the little dream demon. He put his little hands down and sat upright, like a little lady, waiting for the formal meal. As for the mini dragon, the bib thing can't be tied on or hung up. The body is too soft and extremely slippery. Although the mini dragon has a pair of chopsticks prepared beside Tijipai and the little dream monster, it seems obvious that the egg is useless and can only rely on its mouth to eat. Yang Yu specially asked for a rope and tied the mini dragon tightly to prevent the guy from jumping into the hot pot accidentally. Little brother Yang Yu, you can let all your elves come out, you're slow king, and by the way, there is another Gyarados. I will ask King Yanwu to get more food on the battlefield later. You can bake it while it's hot, Zhang Jilier said enthusiastically. The configuration of the elves during Yang Yu's national competition was not a secret to the gym leader. Of course, it was only until that period that Yang Yu's subsequent evolution of Little Fish and the subjugation of Little Regielocke were known only to senior brother Qian and Yang Xiao. Naturally unknown to others. Yang Yu was a little embarrassed. Not to mention other elves, the Salted Fish King alone could eat countless things. If Little Bao Bao was added to the mix. Even if Little Gyarados eats much less than King Salted Fish, this is still a Gyarados. Don't worry, my elves will eat like this occasionally. It's just a meal, nothing, the elf ball beside Zhang Jilier flashed. Ninetales, Wind Speed Dog, Duck-billed Fire Dragon, and Flame Chicken, a series of gym-level fire elves jumped easily from the top floor of the attic to the battlefield, especially the Ninetales, with 9 orange stripes blooming in the air. The tail, at the tip of the tail, even has a hint of deep red that blooms like a firework. It is better to obey orders than to be respectful. Yang Yu summoned Dudu, and at the same time, he aimed Xiao Bao Bao's elf ball outside the attic. Ho ho ho! Another Gyarados. The guests on the lower floors of the pavilion were all dumbfounded. It was already rare for most ordinary people to see a Gyarados, but now another one appeared. They wanted to go to the top floor of the attic and ask, did Yang Yu's family raise fish? How can you be so nurturing? Help the Salted Fish King make some barbecue. Yeah. Dada nodded in the direction of Yang Yu, and moved happily to the battlefield. At the same time, he also covered his body with a white apron, and he would show off his skills later. The elves have arranged it, then let's serve the food. Zhang Jilier smiled heartily. Mum. Zhang Jilier finally understood why Yang Yu tied the mini-dragon to the stool with a rope. The little elf watched him pick up a piece of fat beef, and before putting it into the pot, he was already shaking his head up and down and left and right, wanting to eat it. And some even wanted to jump into the frying pan to grab the meat. Zhang Jilier held the fat beef with his chopsticks and moved it to the medium spicy part of the pot. The mini-dragon's neck also moved to the medium spicy part. When it moved to the non-spicy part, the mini-dragon came close to the non-spicy part of the pot. Ha ha ha, little friend Yang Yu, this mini-dragon of yours is interesting. Yang Yu could only roll his eyes at the mini-dragon in his heart. Can you be more elegant like Larulus, sipping the hot soup slowly first, and then waiting for the vegetables in the pot to cook? Obviously, a mini-dragon can't do that. It's quite greedy, Yang Yu replied, and then asked Tijipai and Little Dream Demon what they wanted to eat. Poppy. Little Dream Demon and Tijipai pointed in the direction of the soft tofu. They were sitting there. Just tell Yang Yu what they wanted to eat. Yang Yu would pick it up for them, and Yang Xiao could also take care of Larulus and take care of them at the same time. Our hot pot in Chuangqing is the best. It's a fire gym, so it's naturally better. Hey, this mini-dragon should have been brought from the secret realm of the East China Sea Dragon Palace, right? Zhang Jilier has a very good sense of mini-dragons. Perhaps because he couldn't raise a mini-dragon, so he paid special attention to it. Yes. Come on, little one, eat a piece of fat beef. This is the secret ingredient of our fire gym. I guarantee you'll want to eat it again. Master Zhang, is this too spicy? Yang Yu swallowed his saliva subconsciously, looking at the red lipstick. He didn't know how to describe it. In short, it was a dark reddish-brown soup, probably like the super spicy hell. Yang Yu would definitely not dare to touch it. He would feel scared just looking at it, let alone take a bite. Zhang Jilier gave a rough smile. This ingredient is not as spicy as you think. I know you won't be able to eat it if it's too spicy, so I basically asked the chef to use a lot less spicy food. It's worth trying, although there is also clear soup in this hot pot. But since you're here, why not try it too? Yang Xiao blinked. She wanted to try it but didn't dare. After all, the color of the hot pot was there. If it was too spicy. Brother, how about, you try it first? Yang Yu trembled his arm slightly. He deliberately put some meat in the slightly spicy pot bottom, which looked lighter. He was going to try the degree of spiciness first, and then see if he wanted to risk his life to touch the color. The horrible bottom of the pot. Yang Yu even felt in his heart that it would be better for him to have a fight with the leader of the fire gymnasium than to let him taste the deep reddish-brown pot with lots of chili peppers rolling around in it. Phew, let's have an elf battle. You can dip it in clear soup and wait for a while. The main thing you eat is not the spiciness, but the mellow flavor in the ingredients that leaves a lingering aftertaste between your teeth. Zhang Jilier shared his experience. Yang Yu thought for a while. Now that it's here. Mum. The mini-dragon noticed that Yang Yu's gaze slowly turned towards it, and felt a little excited. After his continuous efforts, Yang Yu, who usually fed it, finally noticed that it could no longer restrain its impulse. It, the mini-dragon, wants to eat meat. Me. 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 The mini-dragon called Yang Yu eagerly, lowered its head at the same time, opened its mouth and bit the clean small bowl, moved in front of Yang Yu, nodded its head up and down, trying to get Yang Yu to put something in its bowl. Fragrant meat. Mini-dragon, hungry. Yang Yu suddenly felt that it was a very good idea to let the mini-dragon give it a try first. The mini-dragon itself has weak ice properties, so it is okay to eat ice cream now. But if it eats hot pot, it will still spoil your stomach. Dragons are not afraid of fire. To be on the safe side, Yang Yu used clear soup to mix the meat of the mini-dragon. The mini-dragon was extremely happy to find that Yang Yu actually gave it the first piece of meat in the pot. Even Yang Yu himself had never eaten something delicious, so he gave it the mini-dragon first. The mini-dragon felt like he was about to faint from excitement. It's really great. Looking at the red piece of meat in his bowl, mixed with an aroma that kept tickling his big white nose, the mini-dragon blew 2 or 3 times into the bowl with excitement and trembling, then lowered his head and swallowed it in one gulp. Down. Mini-dragon. How's it going? Yang Yu looked expectantly at the subsequent performance of the mini-dragon. If the mini-dragon twists and turns excitedly, it must be delicious and the taste is acceptable. If Mum. Yang Yu only saw the head of the mini-dragon in front of him move back slightly, and a small wisp of flame instantly spurted out from its small mouth, spraying in the direction of the little dream monster beside him. Zhang Jilie's face suddenly looked dumbfounded. Breathing flames. Is this okay? The meat in his hand fell to the edge of the bowl with a snap. At this moment, a little dream monster that seemed to have returned from Africa appeared in front of Yang Yu and Yang Xiao. Even. His face turned dark. Little dream demon? I wish all trainers a prosperous new year. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 581. After receiving the baptism of the jet flames, the little dream monster now looks like what was filmed in the cartoon, only the head is scorched, and the small body under the string of blood-red fear orbs around the neck is still the original gray and black color. The little dream demon stretched out her hand and touched her face blankly. Soon, 2 obvious dimples were revealed on the erased carbon black face. Seeing the black charcoal on the tips of her fingers, the little dream demon's anger suddenly rose. Mr. Bao's little dream monster, draw a small moon on his head, he is selfless, which means the moon will destroy you. Sizzle. Shock your ass. Mum. The flame of the mini-dragon is now very small, and there is only a small flame outside its mouth, just like a lighter, and the flame is even a little cute. If you carry a mini-dragon brand lighter with you, it will hold more in your mouth than those who like to show off a noble lighter worth tens of thousands of elf coins. When someone opens the lid of the lighter, Yang Yu only needs to rub the mini-dragon's head. Hey. Zhang Jilie didn't blame the elves for the fight, but he was still a little shocked by the dream monster's electric moves, especially when the mini-dragon just took a bite of the meat fished out of the hot pot with a special base. Can breathe fire. How the hell is this possible? If eating such a special hot pot once can make the elf learn to spray flames, then spraying flames is too worthless, right? Okay, the mini-dragon didn't do it on purpose. Yang Yu couldn't help but look at the little dream monster holding up the mini-dragon's tail with both hands. The mini-dragon was tied there tightly and couldn't escape. It could only scream Hurry, take a wet wipe and wipe the little dream demon's face. It didn't matter if he didn't wipe it off. Yang Yu first stamped it, and the black marks on the wet wipes looked like the masks of dangerous people. Oh, by the way, this one is a little cute, and there are 2 little dots on the dimples. It was left behind when the little dream demon touched his face just now. Brother. Your elf is so fun. LaRue. Yang Xiao felt that he had to cover his mouth and tilt his head to laugh, otherwise he would drop his saliva into the hot pot. At this moment, the mini-dragon looked back pitifully to look at its tail, and found that it seemed like nothing was wrong. If it could still move after a little twist, then it was okay. How could such a small amount of electricity have an impact on it? It's important to eat, it also needs to eat meat. Mihu mihu. The mini-dragon stuck out its little tongue and breathed huffing and puffing. The spicy smell made it want to go back to the sea to drink water, trying to drown out the burning spicy taste in its mouth, but it's so cool. Just like the first bite of ice cream taken by a mini dragon, hiss. Mum. The mini dragon lowered its head, like a cat, and held the bowl in front of Yang Yu. At this moment, its mouth was so spicy that it couldn't bite the edge of the bowl. He raised his head and looked at Yang Yu, his eyes sparkling. If the tail hadn't been tied, the mini dragon would have been just like a pet dog, wagging its tail crazily while eating. When the little dream demon gets angry, the consequences will be serious. The little dream demon pouted, pointed at his own rice bowl, and then pointed at Tijapai's rice bowl, staring straight at Yang Yu. It seems to be saying, "Yang Yu, it's up to you. You can't be so partial." Snort. Yang Xiao lowered his head and couldn't help but laugh. These three elves of brother Yang Yu, ha ha ha, are like children, and they are the third generation. They are so good at competing for favor. But it's really fun. Yang Yu deliberately put some thin vermicelli in the clear soup, dipped it in the prepared sauce, and put them one by one into the bowls of Little Dream Demon and Tijapai. Add some minced meat, it's too big for them to eat. After all, among the three elves beside Yang Yu, only the mini dragon has the ability to eat meat. Its mouth is larger than that of Little Dream Demon and Tijapai. After watching the Little Dream Demon bite the fan's head, his eyes lit up and he immediately started sucking on it. Suck, suck, suck. A long strip of vermicelli can almost fill the small bowl of Little Dream Demon. Even if it is the clear soup of hot pot, the base material still has a faint flavor of beef bones and the dipping sauce. The juice sucks up, that's no ordinary satisfaction. For the Little Dream Monster, this is a big bowl of fans. Bobby Biubiu. Tijapai imitated the way the Little Dream Monster eats fans and began to suck them. For the little guy, it was really delicious and fun. After appeasing the Little Dream Monster, Yang Yu finally set his sights on the mini dragon. Mum. The mini dragon's eyes were dim, and he was so anxious that tears were about to flow down. Feed it quickly. Little friend Yang Yu, why don't you try not using clear soup to wash the flavor this time? If the flames emitted by the mini dragon are bigger, does that mean, the spicier the taste, the bigger the flames? Zhang Jilier, although he was still skeptical that the mini dragon could master the flame jet so easily, he still couldn't suppress his curiosity. Is this really okay? The owner thinks the same thing as me, I won't use the clear soup this time. Yang Yu can't wait to see what the mini dragon will do next. If he can really master the flame jet, it will be absolutely worth it to come to the fire gym. Me. At this moment, Yang Yu paid special attention to the position where the mini dragon was eating meat. This greasy mouth could no longer be pointed at any other place by the mini dragon. The Little Dream Demon serves as a warning. Cough cough cough. Yang Yu sat upright. Fortunately, the mini dragon didn't spray in the direction of Yang Yu just now. Otherwise, the hair that was left behind after fighting the Little Dream Demon would have been sprayed away by the mini dragon's fire. Who will Yang Yu talk to at that time? Fortunately, it did not lead to a Buddhist tragedy. A mouthful of meat dipped in dark red soup entered the mini dragon's mouth. Yang Yu and Zhang Jilier held their breaths, and Yang Xiao also opened his eyes wide. Call. The mini dragon's mouth spurted out a stronger flame than before, with greater power and better effect. However, the duration seems to be a bit off, similar to the effect of too much fuel burning, not enough fuel. This time, eat 2 pieces. Eat 2 big pieces. Mum. Thank you, Master, you are so kind. After a while, a jet of flames with similar power as before appeared, but this time it was more lasting. This scene was seen by Xiao Pangzi, who was hiding by the attic stairs. Wow! When I grow up, I also want to have a mini dragon like that. When I do my homework, I won't click on anything, and mommy won't have to worry about my studies anymore. The little fat paper looked at the test paper in his hand, his eyes full of expectation and desire. Happy New Year! Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Shao. Chapter 582. Learning moves requires a kind of memory, especially for elves like many dragons who are still in their infancy. They need more training. Just like children doing math problems, sometimes they can do it and sometimes they can't. They need to train regularly so that they can remember it and pick it up anytime and anywhere. This is the importance of acquired training. I saw you had eaten so much ice cream before, I didn't see you learn how to freeze light. How come you can shoot flames after just one hot pot meal? Yang Yu reached out and touched the mini dragon's head, feeling angry and funny. Zhang Jilier, who was watching from the side, felt the corners of his mouth twitch. He felt that his thinking could not keep up with the young people he was now. What the hell is human talk? Eat ice cream to learn how to freeze light, eat hot pot to learn how to shoot flames. Stretch your head over here and I'll give you a buff. In the real world of elves, people often take videos of their own elves learning moves easily for the sake of popularity. In fact, the elf itself has already mastered that move, and that's just because the person who shot the video acted so realistically. If moves are so easy to learn, what else do you need a move learning machine for? In these elf normal universities in China, there are legendary moves like Jet Flame, 100,000 volts, and Freeze Ray. Once one is produced, all parties in the Elf Alliance will rush to grab it. This can expand the elf moves. The powerful moves on the strike side will have excellent miraculous effects in the battle. The mini dragon mastered the flame spray just by eating hot pot. If he hadn't seen it with his own eyes, Zhang Jilier would really think that such things were just made up. These 50 years, lived in vain. Yang Yu took advantage of this opportunity to help the mini dragon consolidate the training. No matter how spicy it was, he would give it a try. Just like doing math problems of various difficulties, the spicier the taste, the more auxiliary conditions are provided. Such flame jets are easier to trigger. As the spiciness gradually decreases, the less assistance is provided to the mini dragon. If the mini dragon could still spit out flames steadily, that means that the mini dragon can gradually get rid of its dependence on spicy food, and in the end, it can freely perform the move of spraying flames. Yang Yu looked at the little dream demon who was already lying motionless, as well as Tijipai who was patting his eggshell belly, and then looked at the mini dragon who was still struggling on the way to have a full meal, and shook his head with a smile. Accidentally, a piece of fat beef that had not been soaked in clear soup was eaten by Yang Yu himself. I know it. No wonder the mini dragon can master jetting flames after eating it. Spicy, 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 cough, cough, cough. Yang Yu's face instantly turned red, as if he had been smeared with chili sauce, so red. Water, water, water. Zhang Jilier looked at Yang Yu with a strange expression, and felt a little funny for a moment. Yang Yu, a trainer, was not good at eating spicy food. Zhang Jilier signaled the waiter to bring some more chilled plum juice. Seeing how Yang Yu was sipping the drink, he would soon finish it. When the waiter came up and said something in Zhang Jilier's ear, the smiling expression on Zhang Jilier's face froze for a moment. Master, there is almost no meat left in the kitchen. Zhang Jilier thought at first that he heard it wrong, but then he stood up from his seat and walked quickly towards the fence next to the attic. It doesn't matter if you look at it. Zhang Jilier's face almost turned green when he looked at it under the red firelight. On the battlefield, King Yan Wu, fire-breathing dragon, 9 tails, demon fire red fox, flame chicken, wind speed dog, duck-billed fire dragon. Zhang Jilier's Hyluga and blazing monkey were not in the gym at this time, but these 7 gym-level elves, as well as Yang Yu's salted fish king and little Bao Bao, formed a circle with a large circle in the center. There is a bonfire, and next to the bonfire, there is a dome that controls the big pot. This big pot was carried out by King Yan Wu from the kitchen. It was a special pot for the larger fire elves like them when they had dinner together, and it was usually kept in the kitchen. King Yanwu originally wanted to grill some big meat skewers for the salted fish king, but he didn't expect that Dede also started grilling it. It was nothing at first, but as the skewers Dede held became more and more fragrant, King Yanwu suddenly felt that the skewers he was grilling were pig food. In an instant, it no longer smells good. King Yanwu turned the skewers in his hand stupidly while staring at the skewers on Dede's side. He was grilling and drooling. In the end, the skewers in his hand were burnt and smelled of burnt, and he didn't even realize it. When the skewers were finished, King Yanwu finally came to his senses. He looked down at the skewers and saw that even the wood he had prepared was gone. They fell into the fire together with the burnt ingredients and were fed to the fire. With just one hand, you can even see the golden hot oil flowing sizzlingly in the big meat skewers, following the pattern of the meat skewers, allowing all the barbecue flavor to penetrate into the interior of the meat, and not even a hint of black burnt color. Yeah. Dada made the first announcement that dinner was ready. The salted fish king had already sat down obediently, with his body crossed, waiting for him to be fed barbecued meat. He looked like a good student with all-round development of moral, intellectual, physical, artistic, and physical skills. When Dede gave King Yanwu a bunch to try, King Yanwu immediately decided that he should not be a stupid pig who wasted food. He quickly ran to the kitchen, carried the big pot, and asked Jiwei and Yao to do it at the same time. Fire Red Fox followed him and brought out a large amount of meat from the kitchen. Instead of hot pot, I will eat barbecue today. Dede took over the entire battlefield without a doubt. He was a gym-level elf himself, and coupled with his miraculous and exquisite barbecue skills, at this moment, even the gym-level elf of the gym leader had to show courtesy. Point. King Yanwu prepared huge iron bowls for his fire-type friends, and also specially brought some iced drinks. It was refreshing to drink them while the drinks were still cold and not affected by the temperature of the venue. Yeah. Dada slowly raised his hand. The meat skewers skewered with bamboo around him were like flying swords waiting for him. In the venue, with Dada as the core, they marched towards the bonfire in order. 10,000 sword formation. Zhyla. Hot oil droplets spread in the air, and when they come into contact with the meat skewers, they sparkle with extremely blazing light. Rows of evenly heated meat skewers shine in the bonfire, and a rich aroma of meat comes out. The flames swayed in all directions. Hoo-ho! Hoo! At this time, all the fire gym level elves on the battlefield closed their eyes, and the flames in their bodies began to beat with the aroma of barbecue in the air. Little Bayo Bayo smashes his mouth. He will have a full meal today. Super Bloom. Holding his breath and concentrating, while using his superpower, he sensed the unique power of flames in the campfire and controlled the delicate balance between the ingredients and the hot flames. Make simple barbecue to the extreme, make use of ingredients and feel the power of different attributes. Whether it's the flames in the fire gym, or the coldness you feel when making ice cream. This is the cultivation method of Chef God. All skewers, waiting for orders. Wan Jian, returns to the clan. Zhyla. Thanks to the efforts of all the elves, the fire-type gym hotpot restaurant's kitchen ingredients are all in short supply. Happy New Year. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Shao. Chapter 583. Running out of food. Yes, except for what the customers ordered, which is guaranteed to be delivered, the rest is gone, and the entire kitchen is empty. Where's the fish? Where's the fish you're going to fillet? The fish, look at the battlefield, they are all being grilled. What's going on with those chefs? The chefs said they didn't want to work anymore, and they even wanted to ask the owner if the elves on the battlefield could leave some barbecue for them. Is there still such an operation these days? The interlocutor sniffed in the direction of the battle site. No more, just 2 words, it smells so good. Having said that, there is another problem. Why did the battle arena in the fire gym become a barbecue stall now? Besides, hot pot is the main business here, Daeogwon hot pot restaurant, barbecue. Only the elves like King Yanwu on the battlefield will grill and eat by themselves. Normally, there is no place for barbecue here. Then here comes the problem. In this situation, should the fire gym open a hot pot restaurant or a barbecue stall? Yetao, the hot pot restaurant here in the fire gym is very unique. When I came last time, I hadn't gotten the senior trainer badge yet. I could only go up to the third floor. Only when I reached the senior trainer level could you are qualified to eat hot pot on the fourth floor. Oh? Then do you think that the fifth level requires an elite trainer's badge? Not necessarily. You can challenge the resident trainer here in the gym. If you win, even the senior trainer can go to the fifth floor to taste hot pot, but there is basically no chance on the sixth floor. I know this. The senior of our school's battle club came here once on the sixth floor, and he often talked about it in the club after that. The hot pot restaurant in the fire gym, I also want to go upstairs and have a look. Jo Pinrui, let's go in. Come on, it's been a long time since we graduated from high school. Let's see how we perform in the fire gym today. Can we get to the fifth floor? Jo Pinrui said with a smile. After Yetao and Jo Pinrui just stepped into the hot pot restaurant, they felt something was wrong with the smell inside. Isn't this a hot pot? Why does it smell like barbecue? It's strange. Yetao sniffed it, and found a natural barbecue smell with a little cumin. It's not pungent, but very fragrant. Is it the new barbecue added by the store in the Fire Element gym? Whether it is hot pot or barbecue using the power of fire, it will taste great. Jo Pinrui was a little confused, but quickly figured it out. Whether it is hot pot or barbecue, as long as it is made by a fire-type gym, it will definitely taste good. It's possible, Yetao nodded happily. When the waiter in the store saw two new customers arriving, he quickly came up to greet them. This is our senior trainer batch. Today we both want to go to the attic on the fifth floor. I wonder if we can challenge the resident trainer. Jo Pinrui took a deep breath and spoke very calmly and seriously. In the gym, you must put away all your arrogance. Even if you have good strength in the school, there are many junior students who look up to you, but the gym represents the strength of the trainers at the top of the Elf Alliance. Gym leaders, every elf's strength is above the gym level. There is a huge difference in strength between high-level trainers and gym leaders. The two of them didn't want to become the laughing stock among the trainers for being impolite and arrogant in the gym. The receptionist coughed awkwardly and blinked. If it were in the past, then the challenge process could still be arranged. But today's event is really special. Although there is no elf battle going on now, there are some elves on the field. He is a small waiter. Although he has the strength of a high-level trainer, there are, let alone the fire-type gyms owned by the gym owner, Super Elf, and two Gyarados. One of them is more than one step bigger than the one next to him, which is simply abnormal. How could there be such a big Gyarados? The smaller one is normal, and the larger one might have a genetic mutation, right? Anyway, he doesn't dare to go to the elf battle arena now. He didn't expect that there would be new guests coming to play the elf battle. The gym welcomes trainers to challenge at any time and will make arrangements at any time. At any time, the gym will not unilaterally refuse to engage in elf battles unless the challenger himself refuses. You two, follow me first. The waiter suppressed the smile and a little bit of fear in his heart, and led Yetao and Jo Pinrui towards the elf battle site. The scene on the battlefield may be a little exciting at this time. As a friendly reminder, I hope you won't blame me for not informing you in advance. Yetao and Jo Pinrui's eyes instantly lit up. Is the elf versus battlefield exciting? Wouldn't that be a fierce battle between elves? For trainers, especially young trainers, Wherever the elf battle is more intense and exciting, they will join in and watch the excitement regardless of their own safety. It is best to have elf battles between some masters. They can also learn a lot about elf battles. The main points. Let's go. Let's go quickly. Yes, yes, we can't miss this exciting elf battle. This is really great. As soon as we come here, we can actually see the fierce elf battle in the fire gym. Who is fighting who? They are elites. Fight. Yetao and Zhou Pinrui couldn't restrain their excitement, wishing that a super elf could take them there with teleportation. Turn this corner and you will see the battle arena. You two, it's best not to make any sound. The waiter felt that he was really bad, but there was nothing he could do about it. He followed the gym's procedures. He won't smile unless. I can't help it. Hum. Hum. Ft. Cough 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 cough. When Yetao and Zhou Pinrui looked up as if they met AI at the corner, they instantly saw the extremely terrifying group of elves on the battlefield. Not to mention those gym-level elves, even the weakest among them, the elite-level Gyarados and Gyarados can use Death Gaze on both of them. Roar. Huh. Huh. For a moment, some elves on the battlefield, including the Salted Fish King, turned their heads and squinted at the newcomers Yetao and Zhou Pinrui. Those elves who were blocked in other positions also stood up and came to the edge to take a look down. Death stare. Little brother, is there anything worth f***ing about? Why are you showing such surprise on your face? On the battlefield between elves, fireworks are flying, the sound of crackling oil is splashing, especially the eyes that look straight like lasers, it is really exciting. Yetao. Zhou Pinrui. What's even more exciting is the fire element gym leader Ji Lai. He needs support now. Needs support from meat resources. The Elf Alliance was stunned when they received the news. Why does your fire gym need so much meat? Is it a pig? It's so edible? This is no longer about a pig. There is a stay-in. Even an elf can turn into a pig, right? Really, it tastes so delicious. I no longer open a hot pot restaurant, but suddenly I want to open a barbecue restaurant. No, it was to open a hot pot restaurant, and then a barbecue restaurant. The hot pot restaurant has been inherited in the fire gym until now. Although a barbecue restaurant was opened during the period, but neither works. There is no barbecue chef. The stupid king. Every slow king is a king in a unique field. There is no doubt that this one is the gourmet slow king. There is a way for a barbecue restaurant. Yesterday's update. Happy New Year. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 584. Fire Gym. Just insert another I. For longer-term considerations, the current Daepo chefs will not immediately leave Zhangxiang City and open a new barbecue department in the new Daifang cooking school. All slowpoke chefs, even the slowpoke beasts that have not yet evolved, have mastered one of the most basic skills, which is grilling fish. No matter where they go in the future, they will be able to open up a new world with their silly grilled fish. For barbecue, you have to study systematically. Therefore, it would be at least a month after Dai Dai set his eyes in the fire gym before the Dai Hippo chefs with excellent barbecue skills would come by boat from Zhangxiang City. After saying goodbye to the fire gym leader and the little fat boy with constipation on his face, Yang Yu and Yang Xiao continued their journey to the Potala Palace in western Tibet. I won't forgive you even if you give me one kebab. Unless you give me 2 kebabs at once. Little Fat Paper made up his mind and decided happily. Where are the test papers that your father and I picked up from the sky last time? Did you do it? If not, do it quickly. You will be going to school in a few days. The smile that had just risen on the little chubby face suddenly disappeared. Now, even 2 skewers of barbecue can't please his little fat boy. Come on, Laralus, drink some moo milk first. The next few days will be the real test. It was both the first time for Yang Yu and Yang Xiao to go to western Tibet, and so was his elf. For ordinary people, the best solution is to take a train to the snowy area. If altitude sickness occurs, you can immediately stop entering Tibet. Brother, where are we going next? Yang Xiao brought a handkerchief to Larulus, who had finished drinking moo milk, and Larulus wiped his mouth carefully. Let's go check out a very famous bicycle road. From Sichuan province to the snowy area, there is a road that is very popular among bicycle enthusiasts. Every year, countless people form teams starting from the westernmost area of Sichuan province and ride their bicycles all the way west, and finally arrive at Bubu in western Tibet. Dala Palace. Some are like those trainer camps in the Pearl Forest. An industrial chain has been formed here. As long as you have a bicycle, you can rent it temporarily. You can ride on this road. There is a special rest area in the middle. If you can persist to the end, then, the risk of altitude sickness is also minimized. In the elf world, in addition to bicycles, there are also elf express, such as Dujula and Kentaro, which travel towards the snowy area at extremely high speeds. This type of elves who often run have excellent physical fitness and physical endurance, and their ability to adapt to plateaus is extraordinary. Brother, let's ride bicycles into Tibet? That's so cool. Yang Xiao never thought that one day he would be so cool, riding a bicycle along the road all the way into the hinterland of the snowy area. No matter how you think about it, it is not something that ordinary people can do. Yang Yu rolled his eyes angrily. It will take a few days to get there by bicycle, and I don't think about it carefully. You have to go back to Hangzhou to study almost just after starting, not to mention riding a bicycle all the way. It takes a long time to adapt to it. Very tiring. Oh. Yang Xiao's voice was slightly lowered. He stuck out his tongue, and quickly asked, Brother, how do we get there? Yang Yu said calmly, ride the salted fish king. Or Xiao Bao Bao. Yang Xiao, oh. If you summon the salted fish king at will in the city, it will easily cause panic among the citizens. However, when you reach the bicycle lane, there is a place where you can freely summon the elves. When the time comes, flying all the way along the road will be countless times more awesome than riding a bicycle. If you go along the road, you can find the trainer camp. If you are tired, go down and take a rest, and drink some hot ginger tea by the way. But as long as you stay here, it won't be a problem, Yang Yu smiled. After all, it is still a problem. The salty fish king and little Bao Bao have been suppressed in the pokeball for a long time, and it's time to let them out and let out some air. The snowy area, where they can fly freely in most areas, is also their own world. There are also classmates Little Reggie Locke and Big Beauty. Little Reggie Locke still has the cover of the Little Fist Stone, and the secret of the Great Beauty still needs to be protected, but that time will soon come. Fang Lian, the leader of the water gymnasium, is also Yang Yu's senior sister Fang. When Zhangzi and his party return, Yang Yu will challenge her. The beginning of the water gym battle is when the name of Great Beauty resounds. Now, the bike lane, here it is. There are so many people. Of course, there are groups of people here going to the snow area every day. This is not only a kind of experience for oneself, but also an excellent way for trainers to improve their strength. The bicycle path at this time reminded Yang Yu of the bicycle path in Zijin City in the Pokemon games. On the bicycle path, he would meet many trainers and have Pokemon battles on the bicycle path. The bicycle path in front of me is similar to that in the game. On this bicycle path, if you meet a cyclist with a Pokeball in front of his bicycle, he is a trainer who can engage in Pokemon battles. If you encounter a trainer on the way, or if you encounter a resting trainer on the way, let's have an interesting Pokemon battle on the land next to the bicycle path. Generally speaking, the deeper you go into the snowy area, the stronger the opponents you encounter on the bike path will be. Along the way west, with the constant battles between elves and constant rest, the elves' strength will slowly become stronger. That's the beauty of bike trails. Xiao Yu, let's buy 2 bicycles and let Dada take them first. You can also experience the interesting elf battle. The Super Gym leader has made a suggestion. Larulus is not suitable to participate in elf battles at the moment. Battle, but you can also let your Ghost Stone go up and try it. It has certain attribute advantages in the battle between elves. Just think of it as an experience before becoming a formal trainer. Yang Yu is not going to bully the children anymore. He is the one who has to compete with the gym leader. Just like the setting in the game, the level difference is too much, and he has no experience in winning. But when I find the right one, let the little dream demon scare me. The little dream demon has been raising a baby recently, and her temper seems to have relaxed a lot. The most important thing is that she doesn't pull out Yang Yu's hair so much. This is a good opportunity to combine the knowledge in the textbook with practice. Yang Yu can see how Yang Xiao fights the elf battle. There is the Ghost Stone who is often beaten. Maybe the Ghost Stone will still be there after the other elf loses strength. Lively and vigorous, looking like he hasn't received enough beatings. Larula's super small fist can cause double the restraint damage to the poisonous Ghost Stone. Elf battle. Brother, that would be great. Yang Xiao raised Larula's high. Larula's, we will see how well the Ghost Stone you trained is doing. Lalu. Asking for votes every day. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 585. Hold head high. There are many shadows of flying elves in the sky, flying under the blue sky with their respective trainers on their backs. Holy shit. Gyarados. Gyarados. Hurry, run away. As soon as Salted Fish King and Little Bayo Bayo appeared, the shadows in the sky were like frightened birds, and soon they could no longer fly. I have to say that this is what Gyarados looks like. For most people and trainers, their impression of Gyarados is still the vicious elves that destroy cities from time to time on the edge of the sea. Even if trainers subdue them, people around them will still feel scared. Yang Xiao is not afraid. The Salted Fish King was raised by brother Yang Yu, not to mention that Yang Xiao also fed the Salted Fish King yogurt, and it was pure. When the Carp King drank yogurt at that time, his eyes were very interesting. If the current Salted Fish King still wants to drink yogurt, he probably has to use a bucket and pour buckets into his mouth. If the yogurt from a small bottle is squeezed into the Salted Fish King's mouth, that looks too stingy. Let's fly to the river in front first. No one is there, so we can summon Dameli. King Salted Fish, you have to take good care of me. I don't care where you go to play later. Dameli is the best anyway, don't get caught. The Salted Fish King nodded quickly, looking like he couldn't wait any longer. We are obviously very close, but it is a pity that it is not convenient to meet. The Salted Fish King recalled the fish he had grilled yesterday. It would be great if Dameli could eat them. They were really delicious. Yeah. Dede seemed to have thought of Xiangxian's thoughts a long time ago, and took out some ingredients from the golden conch treasure hat. These ingredients were given to them by King Yanwu when they left the fire gymnasium today. If Dameli wants to eat fish by then, Dada can bake it for Salted Fish King and Dameli to eat. When Dameli was still a little fish, it might not be convenient to eat fish, so he and Xianxian had to eat them secretly. Now that the little fish has evolved into Dameli, eating fish should be okay, right? I touched the back of my head blankly. This question. Xianxian used to be a fish. The big fish eats the small fish, and the small fish eats the shrimps. As long as Dede cooks them well, Dameli will definitely eat them. King Xianyu, Xiao Bao Bao, Let's go. Xiao Yu, hold on tight. Roar. Ho ho ho. Two blue figures rose up in the wind. If Yang Yu or Yang Xiao were wearing ancient-style clothes, a long gown and a long skirt, they would be riding the wind and wielding a sword. They would look like a master of the Qingyuan sect. Style. I'll go, how come you can see Gyarados here? What a big Gyarados. How could it be, that person, an excited voice suddenly emerged from the group of cyclists. What happened to that man? Yang Yu. It's Yang Yu. The champion of the individual competition in this year's college national competition. I remember him. He is the only one with such a terrifying Gyarados. Do you know what Yang Yu called his Gyarados? What's your name? Salted Fish King. Brother, why did I hear someone calling your name below, and the name of Salted Fish King? Yang Xiao was confused. Yang Yu stuck his head out and looked down, and saw the one jumping most excitedly, so he stretched out his hand and waved. As a result, that person became even more excited, looking like a starstruck fan. Brother, he's not your fan, is he? So excited? Yang Yu nodded deeply and coughed quite contentedly. It's possible. However, Yang Yu was actually a little unhappy. Why was he not a female fan? Being shouted at by a man and shouted so excitedly made Yang Yu feel uncomfortable. But having said that, Yang Yu felt that he was still a bit of a loser. Although he was not a female fan, he wanted to give face to the male fans because the person below shouted so enthusiastically. Keep waving, keep waving. Brother, stop waving. People can't see you anymore. The Salted Fish King is flying too fast, and others can't catch up. Yang Xiao's voice was like a steel needle, piercing Yang Yu's heart twice. Superior. Sister, give me some face. Own people. Yang Yu coughed lightly and looked around. There was really no one around. Even the common flying elves in the sky were scared and ran away. Ordinary flying elves would not dare to get close to Salty Fish King and Little Bao Bao. They would feel frightened even if they looked at them from a distance, fearing that a cannon dragon's wrath would suddenly hit them. After all, this is Gyarados. King Salted Fish, go down to the woods on the top of the mountain, and I'll let the beautiful girl come out. Roar. The Salted Fish King's eyes flashed with joy and he quickly moved towards the top of the mountain. Hey, slow down, slow down, slow down. Brother. 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 The expressions on the faces of Yang Yu and Yang Xiao suddenly became like when they were riding a roller coaster. Their eyebrows were frightened and their mouths opened wide. They felt that they were almost dead the moment they landed. Fortunately, there is Dudu. Poppy. Tajapai in Yang Yu's arms happily twirled his hands and stepped on his feet. The scene in front of him did not scare him at all, nor was he nervous at all. He even felt so fun. Poppy. Again. The little dream monster's hair was like a will-o'-the-wisp being pulled by the wind. The falling speed was so enjoyable. LaRue. Larulus covered his careful part, feeling a little throbbing, but his eyes were not afraid. In a peaceful life, wouldn't it be more colorful if there was such a fresh and exciting entertainment? Larulus clenched his fists. There are still many things that I haven't experienced yet about the beauty of this world. If you gather your super skirt heart early, you can go and see more places in the world. By the way, I also need to bring the little yellow flower at home. With a stir in his heart, Yang Yu opened his eyes again and was now on the ground. Dede quickly jumped to the ground, then pulled up the fish grilling utensils, flashed his superpower, lit the flames, and then prepared the fish. Dede, he was going to grill the fish. Come out, little Reggie Rock, come out, big beauty. The elf ball in Yang Yu's hand flashed with an earthy yellow and colorful light respectively. Woo-oh, you finally remembered to call me out for some air. A mechanical voice of resentment sounded here. Yi. Reggie Lock, You, you, what do you want to do? Get your dirty hands away. You, come down. The moment Yang Yu summoned the Reggie small fist rock stone, he looked at the eyes of this little Reggie lock, something felt wrong instantly. Seeing the small fist stone rushing up suddenly, he directly raised his fists and hung them on Yang Yu's body like barbells. A strong man locks up a man. You said you wouldn't keep me locked up with a poke ball, but you actually lied to me with a stone. Ha, man. Rat, you are cute.